Hello. Hello, hello. Everybody, how's it going? Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday. Sorry, it's felt a lot longer than Tuesday. I feel like it should at least be a Thursday right now. At least. But I've been busy. Have you guys been busy? I've been busy. I got a kidney stone. Still trying to get rid of that. Yesterday was Tuesday too. Yeah, every day's Tuesday. Never stops. Thanks for subscribing. Um, but yeah, so yesterday, well, I have a kidney stone, just FYI. So that's fun. Also, lots of doctor's appointments, mine and my husband's. I wrote them all out for the last 2 weeks of August. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doctor's appointment between today and the 28th. So within 10 days, we have 6 appointments. So that's fun. Fun old time. So tired. So tired of doctor's appointments. I'm also very, very tired of working in the classroom. Do you ever just feel like really disconnected? Like you're not, because like right now, what was that noise? My computer just made a funky noise. Fun. Anyway, but yeah, so it's been a little weird. Anyway, I didn't stream last week with the book because I had a kidney stone and felt like horrible. I still have a kidney stone apparently, but don't feel as bad. No, it wasn't the fan. It was like I think it was a notification of something. But anyway, yeah, so you need a kerfuffle. I will never say no to a kerfuffle, Jeff. Never say no to a kerfuffle. But yeah, it's been something. I've been feeling very disconnected at work because I'm stuck in the same classroom for pretty much all day, which my job is supposed to be to go to all the classrooms a little bit at a time throughout the week, observe the children, check in on the teachers, help them create things for the classrooms, arrange classrooms, help with behaviors. That's what my job is supposed to be. But I've been stuck with the 1-year-olds for at least a month now. So yeah, that's been exhausting, and I don't know what it is, but they're all like super whiny lately, and they're like, let's throw a tantrum because I asked for you to take off my sweater, and then you started to take off my sweater, and I don't want my sweater off now in the 2 seconds that you did that, and let me just throw a tantrum. I'm like, good Lord, child. But anyway, so back at it today with, the writing. I think last time we're going to skip ahead a little bit. I don't know why, but I have a hard time ending chapters, apparently. Maybe I'm I'm autistic. I'm not good at transitions. So we're going to skip for now. Let's go over here. There we go. So let's go ahead, and the last time we were in the book, we were at the tavern, and they were getting gossip from one of the other tables. Conclusions too. Yeah, well, it's not necessarily conclusions that I suck at. It's the transitions. So from one chapter to the next, which I have done it in this, but there's so much visually in my head, and I have a hard time transcribing that into words. I can see it all in my head and how it plays out, but putting that into words is very difficult for me. But anyway, we were at the table in the tavern, and there's these three beings here, and they're going to give us gossip. And one of the things that we're getting gossip on is there's some dwarves in a mountain that are having an issue, and so our adventuring party decides we're gonna go help them. So I also want to show you guys on the map. Beep. Where would it be? Would it be? I think it was ink something. I think this is where I have my map. I don't know. Sure. Like, is that... I don't know what account I used to log in on. Ah, it is. Okay, cool. So I can show you guys where we're at in the story. All right, so right now we are right here. This is where we're at. We're at this little village here. We're at a tavern in this little village here. We've wandered from this tree. Sorry, let me zoom in. So it's vacuums. Ba-dum-bum. So we started here at this tree that had the portal, and all this is forest. And we have made our way. It's been a couple days. We've made our way to the lake. We've traveled around the lake to this town. We're at this tavern, and while we're at this tavern, we are going to hear about the dwarves having some trouble up here. So we're going to decide to, instead of doing the smart thing here, because originally Soren was like, let's go here, and then, in between the desert and the bog here, cross the river, get to this town, and then we can get to here. This is ultimately where they want to go. But instead, we are going to make a big detour and come all the way up to the mountains here. The dwarves, if we help them successfully with their problem, they're going to guide us through these mountains to the other side of this bog here, and we'll have to follow it down and eventually cross the river and then make our way to here. We're probably going to stay here. I probably need to add that in the outline that we're probably going to stay here for a night, because this, I imagine, would take, a couple days when you stay here and then make your way over. So I think that's what we shall do. But anyway, I wanted to show you the little map so you can get an idea of where the frick we're going. Eventually, I will name this map. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's an Irish. I named it Irish for like create or world or something. So, okay, let's go ahead and pop on over here. Show you the outline. So right now we're at the mountain. Guys. My husky's trying to snuggle with our Chewini, and Chewini's like, back the frick off. I'll kill you if you touch me. Alright, so we're going to travel to the mountain where we're going to meet the dwarven people and talk to them about their problem. We're going to offer help in exchange for us to cross the mountains. So there's two things I've narrowed it down to. So we could either have the problem be red caps, and they've been killing off members of the community for some months, or leprechauns who are stealing relics and valuables for the last few months. So It kind of depends on what we want the vibe to be. Um, well, what I want the vibe to be, but I'll have you guys do feedback if you want. um, so they'll have that encounter, and then Soren, of course, is unhappy, and then once they're finished, we'll go to the bog. But essentially, I so the reason that I like the red cap idea is that it makes it seem a little bit more real, like more like, oh, we're in a place that's not our usual our world. Like we're not in our world anymore. Like they know that, and they've been experimenting with their powers, their new abilities, their new forms. If you were here, you would know that for earlier streams, you would know that they were cosplaying as different types of fantasy characters, and when they went through the portal, they became them. So we've got a Fire Genasi Ranger, we've got a Tiefling Sorcerer, we've got a Human Fighter, we have a Fey Warlock, kind of. We also have a half human, half tabaxi bard. I feel like there's one more. Am I missing one? I guess not. Oh, and then we also have Soren, our guide, who was not cosplaying. He was the old gardener, but he is actually a fey creature as well. So we've got all of them. They've turned into those things, and they're trying to figure out how to use their powers and stuff. And so far it's been relatively chill. Now there are some encounters that they'll have done, but I haven't written out yet. So like, for example, in chapter 6, they're going to fight something. I'm not going to say what yet, but I haven't written that out yet. So they're going to fight that. But it's not really going to be, it's not going to end the way that you would think it would end. So I feel like it's, they're really not, it's not really going to sink in that they could possibly die in this land. I think they'll get a little brush with it, but not enough for it to be like, oh my god. So that's why I like the idea of like the red caps. Like, I think the red caps will give them something, a chance to show off their abilities that they have that they can use, and then a chance also to get the severity of like, oh, we're not in Kansas anymore. Like, this isn't just a magical, awesome place, which it is, but also it's pretty freaking dangerous. So that's why I like the idea of the red cap. But we also have the idea of leprechauns that are stealing things, relics and stuff, because in this world, leprechauns don't like dwarves. So they're stealing things from them, and I like that idea too, because it kind of leans into like the whimsy of where they're at, and like the pranks and the fun that can be had there, and the kind of annoyance that it can cause other people. So I like both, but which one should we do? Is the question. So does anybody have a preference in the chat on which one to do? If not, that's fine. If not, I'll just flip a coin for it. Or maybe I'll just write both of them and see which one fits more. No idea. Of course you have no idea. You're never helpful when it... No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're a very helpful person. But when you have to make a choice, you're not as helpful. I do a poll, but it just... Right? Yeah. I don't have enough people live in chat. That's okay. That's all right. I think I'm just gonna flip a coin. Do I have a coin somewhere? I do. Okay. I have an Irish blessing coin, which I think I got at my sister's wedding right before COVID. Lucky duck got her wedding right before COVID hit. Oh, that would have sucked so bad. Anyway, so I'm shutting. So let's say Irish blessing. The words on the coin will be the leprechauns, and the cross on the other side will be the red caps. So let me just see which one we're gonna do. Well, it landed on the cross, so I guess it's red caps. Well, hello. What's up, Husky? You gonna lie down? Don't try to go under my desk. No. I gave you salmon tonight. You better not be a jerk to me. Stop. You cannot go under there. You're too big. You are also not a lap dog. Animals. Animals. Alright, so red caps it will be, and we can save the leprechauns for something else. So I'm going to highlight that to green for go. Okay. So, with that being said, Coda, no. He's trying. He's trying real hard to get under my desk. Okay. What was I saying? Okay. Save. Let's come up with some... Not with that attitude, Coda. Yeah, probably, because right now he's just kind of lingering there. I'm sure he's waiting for me to move my feet so he can slowly inch his way under there. And then the next thing you know, I have a dog under my feet. But let's come up with some names for these dwarf leaders. Actually, why don't we start the actual chapter first? Okay. So, God. Also, by the way, my wrist is killing me. It started hurting when I drove to Idaho a couple weeks ago, and I had to grip the steering wheel and keep it on the road because it was so windy, both directions, so that hurt. And then it's just been hurting ever since, and there is a chunk-a-monk toddler that I have to pick up at times, and she, oh God, does she put a lot of pressure on that. She is adorable as heck, but she weighs... I think I was telling Eric today, yeah, that she feels like she weighs as much as my husky, which is impossible because she's 1 year old and she can't weigh 70 pounds, but she's a hefty one. She's really cute though. If I had a daughter, I imagine she would be a lot like this child. Okay, so let's say after a night of rest, no, after a night of rest with some getting more than others, the group eventually all makes their way downstairs tavern to grab some breakfast. Okay, so they're all gonna wake up, grab some breakfast. At the tavern to grab some breakfast. I think... Who will be the last one down? Who's the last one down? I would imagine probably... Well... I'm thinking of what species they are. I think the only one that's human is Robert. but I don't think he'd be the last one up. Let's say Ronnie. Ronnie would probably be the last one up because he's half human, half tabaxi. Ronnie is the last. And I also want to see their sleeping arrangements again. Who was Ronnie bedding or bunking with? Ronnie and Robert are together, and then Jasper gets his own place, and then, okay. Cool. Okay, this last one downstairs. And as he takes a seat, he realizes he's made a mistake. There is a very heated but hushed discussion between Robert and Soren. Oh, God. I think I might have carpal tunnel. I love getting older. It's awesome. I need to figure out what I'm doing for my birthday this year. So I'll be turning 40. So that's going to be a thing. Maybe a game night for my birthday, Eric. I think a game night would be fun. I could invite my friends over. Yeah. Or we could go someplace and have a game night. Anyway. There is a very heated but hushed discussion. Robert and Soren. We've already made up our minds last night. I'll keep you in the loop because I'd like to know. Yeah, you'll be in the loop. I'm not gonna, in fact, maybe I'll just give I want some type of fantasy collaboration get together fun thing for my 40th. So figure it out. You're in charge of planning it. And go. Friday, sound like your worst nightmare, Eric? Having to plan a party. Reminds last night about where we were going and why. Do not delegate this to me. Do not watch that. It's not evil. You're planning a party for your wife. Let's see. We've already made our minds last night about where we are going and why. And why. Why are we even discussing it again this morning? Why are they asking it again? Take me with it. Maybe that's my evil plan. I'm kidding. You're not allowed to die yet. Let's see. Soren is going to reply back. With this plan. It takes us, or we'll say it's out of the way, and it will take more time to get all of you home if we go. Okay, if we go. That is hurting my wrist severely. So let's come up with some names for these guys here. So we're gonna have a dwarf leader. And then there'll be two guides. We'll have guide 1 and guide 2. One will be in the city and excuse me, one will be outside the city, and then of course we'll have victims, at least 2 victims. So let's come up with some names for them, because ouch, my wrist. Fantasy name generator. We want some dwarven names. Dwarf names. Grouttritum Twilight Coat. That is a mouthful. I do like Twilight Coat, though, for our last name. Maybe Elkit? Elkit Twilight Coat. Does that sound like a chief name? Elkit Twilight Coat. I like it. What are we at here? Okay. Elkit. That's going to be our leader. And then we'll have the lady, the dwarf that's our guide in the city will be a woman, I think. Delabragaget Hillrock Oakenhorn. I'm liking a lot of these last names. Not a huge fan so far of these first names. Do so, sir. Harbokara. 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 I like that. Harbokara. But I don't like Warhorn, so we're going to come up with a different last name for her. So, Coalbraid is on there twice. Barbed Fury, Ingot Raver, Wyvern Hood, Mind Flare, Flank Sword, Night Forge, Golden Sword, Drake Maw, Long Shaper, Golden Blade, Hammer Branch, Steelfoot, Onyx Horn. I kind of like Onyx Horn. Does that make sense? Let's see. Nope. Harbokara, Onyx Horn. Harbokara, Onyx Horn. Onyx Horn. Yeah, that works. And then we'll come up with the other guide. Bot, Drag, Gentle, Hegale, Largemouth, Windmill. Not a fan of those. Bevanleer, Flask Grip. I kind of like this one. Bevanleer, Flask Grip. Okay, and then our unfortunate victims. We'll have one be male, one be female. Why not? Okay. Daremare, Jadefall. Zardot, Golden Feet. Rockhick, Pebble Spine. I like Pebble Spine. Yammed, Cobalt Forged. Baldress Knighthood. Sandoid. Sandoid. I kind of like Yammed. Let's do Yammed something. Sandoid, yeah. Sandoid kind of sounds like an insult to like a droid from Star Wars that lives in like the desert. Okay. Let's get a last name to go with that. Shatterbraids. Oh my god, that's the one. Shatterbraids. Yes. Yammed Shatterbraids. Poor yammed Shatterbraids. Didn't stand a chance, man. Alpha Molda. Alpha Molda. Marbleback. I like that. Alpha Molda Marbleback. Let's do that. What did I say? Marbleback. Okay. Alright, so we got some NPCs. Shatterbrains. It's Shattered Braids. Okay. Shattered Braids makes me think of, like, Elsa from Frozen. Like, her hair is just all frozen in braids, and then touch it, and it's like... Shh. Okay. Alright, so we've got these people, and they're going to be fighting red caps. Now, for those of you that don't know, let's show you what a red cap is. It's a homicidal fey creature born of bloodlust. That's the descriptor there. Aren't they just so cute? No. Evil murderous fey with insatiable bloodlust. So yeah, they're there. Vicious and cruel, insane serial killers. They dip their caps in the blood of those they've killed. Their instinct to survive and need to soak their hats in their fresh blood was the root of their murderous nature. Even when they tried to be stealthy, their heavy iron boots made them noisy. So, I mean, you can hear them coming, but they're still getting these poor dwarves. Let's see if there's... I'll go to this one. So they've got... They're pretty freaking strong and have a good constitution. So I think that will be a nice fight, actually. Because, like I said, they've got a bard. They've got a fighter. They've got a ranger. They've got kind of a warlock. They've got a sorcerer, and then Soren. They've got Soren. So I think that would be cool. I gotta read up on this. Bloodthirsty mercenaries steeped in slaughter. Goodness gracious, this is gonna be fun. If a red cap works with another being, the red cap demands to be paid in victims. A patron who tries to stifle a red cap's natural and necessary urge for blood risks becoming the red cap's next target. So don't get in the way of their murderous joy. So yeah. Speaking of our people here, so Soren's an elf. Ronnie's a half human tabaxi. Jesper's a tiefling sorcerer. Robert's a human fighter. Enya is a fire genasi. So, and then they've got all their things on here. And then I think I put in everything that they can do. So, like, I feel like I'm missing stuff for... Well, I'm not missing stuff for Robert, but he doesn't do any... oh, I guess it's here. He doesn't have any magic. He can do Tactical Mind, Second Wind, Action Surge. And then Jasper's got some spells. None of them have level 2 yet. I think maybe maybe I should level them up in the story before we get to the red caps, because they will have that one encounter. Because right now I think they're all like level 2 except for Soren, who is, as you can see, has a lot more things that he can do because he's a fae. He's a wizard, that's it. He's a wizard. And then Fia, I haven't finished her stat box yet. Yeah, I'm just looking at the spells that they have to see how this is gonna go. A little bit. I mean, I think Soren's gonna be carrying them most of the time on this in this battle that's coming up in the book. So, all right. So we understand that, and you make a good argument, but these people need help, and it just seems like we can help them. What's a few extra days? So he is... Robert's gonna say this. And they don't know the problem right now. They just know that there's some, whatchamacallit, some dwarves that have gone missing, and so they're gonna try to go help find them. They don't know why they've gone missing. They don't have that information yet. So, what's a few extra days? Ugh. Dab. Soren opens his mouth to reply, but Fia stands and says, this conversation is pointless. Going back and forth is just wasting time. Let's finish eating and head out. So she's just gonna shut it down. She doesn't want to debate it anymore or anything like that. And Soren is like, okay, he's gonna do whatever she says. It's not the private fees. I think actually that should just be one paragraph still. Okay, and now we'll start our next paragraph. Thank you again for doing that. The group finishes breakfast in silence. And then they grab their things and head out the tavern. The day, let's see, thinking about where we are still in the Feywild, obviously. So the time of day is to tell. Verb. It's the group is let's say eager to continue. Continue. Eager to continue. And they are going to be, like I said, they're going here to here. So, I think, should we try to add in a twee? Just a giant mountain. Look at all these trees, these little bit trees. Is there a way to add in a row? I won't do that now. I'm like, is there a way to add in a row? No, because if I do that, I'm going to get sucked in, and then it's all over. It's all over. Okay, so they are going from here, so they'll probably travel a little bit along the lake, and then get to a field, a clearing. So now I have to write that. I'm going to put it actually in the notes so I don't forget. As the, let's see, the journey to the mountain. Hi, Dino. How's it going, bud? To the mountain goes as follows. So they're going to walk along the lake, then open field. Dino, please don't lick my feet. Dino. Hey, what you doing? You want to come help me write? Come here. Come here. Come here. Okay. This is Dino. Dino's my little guy. Yeah, you're my guy, huh? Yeah. You're a good boy. Good boy. Yes, you are. What? Gonna help me write? Can you type for me? So my wrist doesn't hurt as much? You can type for me. Okay? Okay? Yeah, good boy. Okay, so I'm gonna sit this way first. Why wouldn't you? Oh, 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 oh. Let's see. Oh, so they're gonna go walk along the lake with the open fields. Yes. I don't know why, but this dog like loves to lick me. Lick me. Why are you always licking me? Hmm? Silly butt. Yeah. Okay, so they're gonna go open field, and then excuse me, then after that they're gonna see they're gonna see a lake in the distance, followed by the mountains. Do you want down? Do you want down? You can get down. Or do you want on the bed? Do you want on the bed? It's the boy. Okay, so they're gonna... So I think probably what I would like is for this to be just like grassy a little bit, like not a lot of trees. This area, how do I do that? By the way, I also have the song from Flashdance stuck in my head because I heard that on the radio and now it is stuck there. And I've never seen the movie, so it's a little bit annoying. A little bit. Oh, sorry. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do then is just maybe like put some trees down here. I can come back and change it later. But I think like there'll be like all this forest, right? And then there'll be a tree. Or trees. I had to look up how Mother Nature would do that. I don't feel like that's right. I feel like maybe it would go around like that. Like more like that. Not have those trees there. I'll figure out. It's been a while since I've been in this, so I'm like, yeah. Okay, so that's what they're gonna do. So this is gonna be all like forest in here. Forest, 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 forest. Why does that look like a figure eight? Forest, 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 forest. Cool. All right. And then save. Oh, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about saving it. Okay, so that is kind of what we're looking at. So we're looking at the forest and then field. I think what I want to do is in the forest, along the lake, in the forest, surrounded by beautiful trees. Like I want the forest when they're in the forest to be like beautiful and just like super whimsy and magical and like you would think of the Feywild. Surrounded by beautiful trees and flowers and wisps of color. Then the open field. Mostly just tall grass. But we'll say mostly just tall grass, but it catches the light and makes colorful. You know how like you have a field and like when the grass is like that tall grass and it's swaying and you can kind of see kind of like the wind make like a ripple effect, like waves. That, but with colors. Wave effect. And then beyond that, they can see a not amber waves of grain. No. No, it's like you know what? It's actually going to be like an aurora borealis, but in the grass. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah. Let me write that down. In fact, like aurora. I can't ever spell the word aurora either. Aurora. And I definitely don't know how to spell borealis. Borealis. That's wrong. 100% wrong. You got some songs stuck in your head, Eric? Borealis. I can't spell that. How do you spell that? It's Alice. Borealis. Borealis. Right? No? Do they not know what a borealis is in this? You're browsing Spotify. Gotcha. Okay, so they are... Okay. Like aurora borealis. And they, beyond that, they can see a crystal clear lake with a large mountain behind that. Okay, so that's what they're going to see on the way there. So I need to write that out and describe that. And I know I keep saying that I would love to do things in between these little writing sessions I have, but I just never seem to... Yeah, Eric, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the Feywild. There's... I mean... It doesn't matter. In the Feywild, north-south, doesn't really matter. Besides, this would be more northern anyway. So... Okay, I'm going to highlight this part because I need to come back to it. File save. Aurora Borealis. Sure. I mean, it's just a field. We don't need to get crazy here. It's just a field. Okay, so I feel like we're getting off to a pretty good start. We've got the name of the people that we're going to meet when we get there, what the scenery is like on our way there, and then the encounter that they'll have. So this is shaping up to be a good outline for them. Let's see here. Just to enter contour. I also want to dive a little bit more into some character relationships as they're walking. So I haven't really explored too much yet in the way of that. I'd like to see more of a connection develop between Fia and Robert. And then also I'd like Ronnie to like bond with somebody besides Robert, because right now that's the only friend he really has. Maybe Enya. Enya's a good one. She's pretty friendly, kind of a little bit of a firecracker. So I think that's what I'll do, is have that be the thing. Let's see here. I feel like this might be a good stopping point. So awesome. I think that will be where we leave it for now. And let's see, let me exit out of this. I will try to, what is going on with my overlay here? It's like cutting things off. I will try to, write some of this out, because I also find too that when I'm streaming, some things are hard for me to write. Other things not so much. So let's see. I want that's interesting. I'm looking at my... Oh, okay. Yes, it did freak out. It did freak out. Okay, it's back to normal. Love technology. It's the best. Technology is... What is the word that I'm looking for? I would miss it if I didn't have it. But a lot of the time, it's a pain in the butt. So like a child. No, I don't know. I don't know what the word would be. I wonder how I would do in times without, like, if I didn't know about it, I'm sure I'd be fine, but I don't know. Technology, man. Let me X out of that. X out of that. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thank you for being here and helping me write stuff. It's coming along. This is a lot farther than if I didn't have the stream. I probably just have the basic outline, and that's as far as I would have gotten. I would never have continued. But this has been really helpful because it's gotten a lot farther than I expected it to be, and so I'm excited for this project to go on. It's been pretty easy to keep up with it and stuff. It actually makes me a little excited about like a hobby that I'm keeping up with and not just coming home like exhausted and drained and sitting on the couch until I pass out. So thank you all for being here. Let's find someone to raid into, shall we? Let's see. Let's see here. We could raid into, I don't know. Eric, do you have any friends that are on right now that we could raid into? If not, I'll just, I have someone else that I can go to. We could go to the Worst of Times. They've got, I think, were you the one that recommended the Worst of Times, Eric? I think you did. Okay, yeah, let's just raid into the Worst of Times then. They are currently doing a Heart TTRPG, so that should be fun. All right. All right, well, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.